Hello everyone and welcome to Thinking Bee. Today on this episode of JEE Prep, we will be looking at the subjects physics, chemistry and mathematics. Let's begin with the physics question. Vertical strings of the same length L support two balls A and B of mass 2m each. There is a small monkey of mass m sitting on ball A. Suddenly, the monkey jumps off the ball A at an angle theta equal to 45 degrees to the horizontal and lands exactly on the ball B. Thereafter, the monkey and the ball B just manage to complete the vertical circle. The separation between strings D equal to XL. Find the value of X. So, in order to understand this question, we need to look at the question itself. So, question says the first monkey jumps off the ball A at an angle theta equal to 45 degrees. So, from there we can understand that the monkey will complete a projectile motion to ball B at an angle 45 degrees. Now, let us say its initial velocity be something, and then we know that tan theta equal to the y component of the initial velocity divided by the x component of initial velocity. Now, tan 45 degrees is 1. So, 1 equal to uy by ux, which gives uy equal to ux, let us say is equal to u. So, it goes in u in the x direction and u in the y direction. Now, after landing exactly on ball B, the monkey and the ball B completes a vertical circle, just managed to complete. That means, it attains the minimum velocity to complete the vertical circle. Now, in a vertical circle, the velocity, minimum velocity at the lowest point required is given by root 5 gr. Therefore, the final velocity of the monkey in the x direction will be given by root 5 gr. Now, we know that the horizontal velocity will not change in projectile motion, and if it is u upwards, since A and B are in the same length L from a fixed point, fixed plane, this gives that the height of A from the top of the projectile is same as the height of B from the top of the projectile. This means at point B, when the monkey lands on point B, its velocity downwards would be u and rightwards would still be u. So, from this we can say that ux, that is u, remains constant. Now, when the monkey lands on ball B, so let us say this is the monkey, its ux will be u and uy will be minus u, that is u in the downward direction. And if we also consider ball B, which is of mass 2m, it is at rest. However, considering this as in collision, after the collision of mass 2m g and tension T, then both the monkey and the ball will continue in a vertical circle as one mass of mass 3m, that is m plus 2m, with a velocity v horizontally, that is tangential to the radius of the circular path. The radius will be the string L, the full string L. So, we understood that v will be root 5 gr, that is root 5 to g into L, since radius would be the length of the string. Now, using law of conservation of linear momentum, you can say with the x axis m into u, that is the monkeys, plus 2m into 0, because the ball B was initially at rest, would be equal to 3m into v, which gives mu equal to 3m into root 5 GL. That is, U will be 3 root 5 GL. Now, we know that the monkey goes in a projectile motion from point A to point B, and the range, the distance between them, is given by d. Now, using the range formula, which is u square sine 2 theta by g, which can also be written as 2ux uy by g, we get the r, which is basically d, in this case as 2u square by g. From this, we get u square equal to dg by 2. Now, in this case, where we got u is equal to 3 root 5 gl, we get u square is equal to 45 gl. Now, equating, we can equate both of them because both of them are u square. So, equating both of them, we get dg by 2 equal to 45 gl. Now, cancelling g, we get d equal to 90l. Now, in the question, they gave the separation as d equal to xl, and we found out d equal to 90l. Therefore, the value of x is equal to 90. Now, moving on to the next question on chemistry. Which of the following can be concluded from the de Broglie relationship? It has one or more than one answer. A. The kinetic energy is given by h square by 2 m lambda square, where lambda is the de Broglie wavelength of the wave associated with the moving electron. Option B. The number of de Broglie waves made by an electron in the third shell of Li2 plus ion is 1. C. The de Broglie relation suggests that any moving body would be accompanied by a wave, and it is impossible to disjoin the motion of the body from the wave propagation. And option D, the wavelength of the de Broglie wave associated with a moving particle is the function of charge on the nucleus of the particle. Now, we need to find which of these is correct regarding the de Broglie relationship. So, if we look carefully, we can see that option C and option D are theoretical. So, let's deal with them first. Option C says the de Broglie relation suggests that any moving body would be accompanied by a wave, and it is impossible to disjoin the motion of the body from the wave propagation. This is basically the definition of the de Broglie relationship. It says that a particle, that is matter, has both particle nature and wave nature, and they are inversely proportional to each other. So, this means that that's basically what's given in the option. It is impossible to disjoin the motion of the body from the wave propagation. No matter how small or big the object is, it will have a wave nature, even if it is small, and also particle nature. So, option C is correct in this question. Now, let's look at option D. The wavelength of the de Broglie wave associated with a moving particle is the function of charge on the nucleus of the particle. Now, we know that lambda is inversely proportional to the momentum, and removing the proportionality sign, we get lambda is equal to h by mv. Now, none of these factors depend on the charge of the nucleus of the particle. That is, h does not depend on the charge of the nucleus, m does not depend on the charge of the nucleus, neither does v. So, this means that lambda does not depend on the charge of the nucleus of the particle. Therefore, option D is also incorrect. Now, let's look at option 1, which gives the kinetic energy as the statement as follows. Now, we know that lambda is equal to h by mv. Now, rewriting this, we get mv equal to h by lambda. Now, squaring both sides, we get m square v square is equal to h square by lambda square. Now, we need to get kinetic energy from this relation. So, kinetic energy is given by half mv square. So, to get that, we must divide both sides with 2m. So, dividing by 2m, we get m square v square by 2m is is equal to h square by 2m lambda square. Now, m square and m will cancel, we get half mv square, that is basically kinetic energy, is equal to h square by 2m lambda square, which is basically what is given in option A. Therefore, option A is also correct. Let's look at option B. The number of de Broglie waves made by an electron in the third shell of lithium 2 plus ion is 1. Now, for any hydrogen-like atom, the wavelength is given by n lambda is equal to 2 pi r. This derived from the equation mvr is equal to nh by 2 pi. This gives 2 pi r is equal to nh by mv, where h by mv can then be rewritten as 2 pi r equal to n lambda. Now, it says that the de Broglie waves made by an electron in the third shell of the lithium 2 plus ion is 1, but the actual answer would actually be 3, because in the nth shell the number of lambda would be equal to n. So, here it is saying in the third shell it will be equal to 1, which is incorrect. It would be 3. Therefore, option B is also incorrect. This gives the correct answers as option A and option C. Option B and option D are incorrect. So, option A, option C. Now, let us move on to the next question on mathematics. If 1 by tan 81 degrees minus 3 tan 9 degrees plus 3 by tan 63 degrees minus 3 tan 27 degrees plus 9 by tan 9 degrees minus 3 tan 81 degrees plus 27 by cot 243 degrees minus 3 tan 243 degrees equal to k cot 81 degrees, then the value of k is. Now, let us observe the question and try to find a pattern in all of these terms. Now, if we look at the last term, it is written as cot of an angle minus 3 times the cot of the tan of the same angle. Now, if we look at all of the other terms, we can also rewrite it in that terms. Tan 81 is cot 9 degrees. This gives the whole as minus tan 9 degrees. Similarly, tan 63 can be written as cot 27 degrees and tan 9 degrees can be written as cot 81 degrees. So, all of these will be in the form cot theta minus 3 tan theta. That is what you have to find out. Now, if you also observe each of the terms, it is given by multiplying by 3, not exactly, but still the numerators are multiplied by 3 and also the angles are also multiplied by 3, 9, 27, 81, 243. So, with this we can say that our next step of action would be to take the tan 3x formula. Tan 3 theta would be equal to 3 tan theta minus tan cube theta by 1 minus 3 tan square theta. Now, we need to find 1 by cot theta minus 3 tan theta. Now, to convert in tan square theta form, 3 tan square theta, we have to multiply both the numerator and denominator with tan theta. So, what we basically have to find is tan theta by 1 minus 3 tan square theta. Now, we got the denominator equal. So, we need to find an expression from tan 3 theta where we will get tan theta by 1 minus 3 tan square theta. For this, we need to remove the minus tan cube theta part. That means we would have to add tan cube theta, but adding tan cube theta would mean by taking LCM it would get multiplied to higher powers. So, what we have to do is we have 3 tan square theta. So, instead we will add by tan theta, or rather instead of adding we would subtract, because here it is negative and here it also is negative. So, to make minus tan cube theta go away, we need to add tan cube theta. So, minus into minus would be plus. So, subtracting tan theta, we would get tan 3 theta minus tan theta. It is tan 3 theta minus tan theta would be equal to 3 tan theta minus tan cube theta minus 3 plus 3 tan cube theta, the whole divided by 1 minus 3 tan square theta. Now, however, we observe that tan cube theta is not getting cancelled out. We still have 2 tan cube theta remaining. So, to cancel out, we need to make this tan cube theta into 3. That means multiplying 3 on this side, 3 with tan 3 theta. Now, doing that, we will get 9 tan theta minus 3 tan cube theta minus minus tan theta plus 3 tan cube theta divided by 1 minus 3 tan square theta. Now, here we can cancel out both the tan cube theta terms and we get 9 tan theta minus tan theta divided by 1 minus 3 tan square theta, which is equal to 8 tan theta divided by 1 minus 3 tan square theta. Now, if we compare it to the expression we require, that is basically 8 times the expression. So, therefore, we can write 1 by cot theta minus 3 tan theta as 1 by 8th of 3. What we got is we actually took 3 tan 3 theta minus tan theta. So, 3 tan 3 theta minus tan theta. So, instead of writing 1 by cot 9 minus 3 tan 9, we would write 1 by 8 of 3 tan 27 minus tan 9 degrees. Now, doing for all of them, we can take 1 by 8 common from all of them and we have 3 tan 3 theta minus tan theta for all of them. Now, here it is cot 9, cot 27 and cot 81 degrees. So, over here we have 3 times tan 3 theta, tan 3 times 9 is 27 degrees minus tan 9 degrees plus 3 tan 27 times 3 will be 81 degrees. However, 3 into 3, the numerator will get 9 tan 81 minus 3 tan 27 degrees plus 3 into 9, 27 tan 81 degrees minus 9 tan 81 into 3. So, it will be 281 into 3 will get 243 degrees, my bad, be 243 degrees minus 9 tan 81 degrees plus 27 into 3, which would be 81 tan of 243 times 3, which would be 729 degrees, tan 729 degrees minus 27 tan 243 degrees. This is basically this whole expression rewritten in the form 1 by 8 times 3 tan 3 theta minus tan theta. Now, we can cancel out many terms over here, 3 tan 27 minus 3 tan 27, 9 tan 81 minus 9 tan 81, 27 tan 243 minus 27 tan 243. What we have left is minus tan 9 degrees plus 81 tan 729 degrees. Now, tan 729 degrees is basically tan 9 degrees because it just completed 2 rotations throughout the quadrant and then more 9 degrees to get tan 729 degrees. So, we can rewrite this as 1 by 8 tan times 81 tan 9 degrees minus tan 9 degrees, which is equal to 1 by 8 times 80 tan 9 degrees, which is equal to 10 tan 9 degrees. However, the question is given this whole thing is equal to k cot 81 degrees. Well, no problem. Tan 9 degrees is basically cot 81 degrees. Both of them are equal. So we can rewrite this as 10 cot 81 degrees. Therefore, the value of k would be 10 as we have solved out. Now, that's all for today in this episode of JEE Advanced Prep. For more of such videos in physics, chemistry and mathematics, please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Thinking Me. Until the next episode, take care, stay safe, ta-ta for now.